So I recently got to attend this really cool event in Las Vegas called the Forward event. It's meant for like real estate agents and loan officers. It was put on by a loan officer out in Las Vegas. His name is Neil Dingra. We put a lot of really influential people on stage, and tickets to these things were, expensive. They were thousands of dollars. I, had to fly out to Vegas. It was a great time. Everything that I learned, I like to just regurgitate that information for you guys. That way you don't have to spend the money to go to these events and you can just learn it straight from me. Obviously, it's a lot more powerful coming straight from the source, but I want to share with you today specifically what I learned from Brad Lea. Brad Lea is the founder of Lightspeed VT, which is a training program. He literally built this system from the ground up into $1 billion company. He also has a podcast called Dropping Bombs. I'd love to be on that podcast, to be honest. So Brad Lea, if you're watching, or if anybody knows Brad Lea, I can come to you. I can do it virtually here from my bar. I like to have a good time. Smoke some cigars, man. I got to hear him on stage, and I like him because he's no nonsense. He gets straight to the point, how you can become more confident. He talks about how you have to stop giving excuses in life. If you're not happy with where you are, all you got to do is look in the mirror, because you put yourself in that situation, that no one else is to blame for anything except for you yourself. And I love stuff like that because it's true. He may be dropping bombs, but he's really just spitting the truth. The world isn't always politically correct. You shouldn't have to walk on eggshells. You should be able to say what you want to say. I learned so much from him speaking. I just want to share with you a few of the notes that I took and some of the actions that I took. I don't want to be that guy that constantly goes to these events and gets all motivated and gets excited and then does nothing about it. My whole thing is if I have to go to this event again, then I messed up somewhere and I'm not doing the right things. I should have taken what I've learned and put it into action. The only time I have to go to these events again, if I need to learn something new. So I feel like I learned a lot of great stuff, and I just want to reshare that information with all of you so that you have it as well. And hopefully you can learn a little something as well from the Hatchman here. So one of the very first things that he talked about, and keep in mind, this may not be for everybody. He said, content is going to be your best investment. He said, him personally being up there on stage, he's doing it so he can get extra content to throw out there and share with people. And that really kind of got my mind going. I'm like, if content is your best investment more than anything, if you're investing in yourself, then you're putting yourself out there because you know what you're getting into. And so it was really kind of cool that that was the very first thing that he talked about. People need to find you. The world is marketing. If you have something to sell, but nobody knows about it, then how do you sell it, right? So he talks about how you have to market that and you have to put yourself out there and you have to really invest in yourself, not just from a content standpoint, but from a knowledge standpoint. You have to be able to learn things, take things in, learn from other people, be coachable. The other little nugget or bomb that he dropped is he said, personal branding will make you rich. Think about any sort of brand, right? Nike, Under Armour, I guess I'm wearing it right here, Google, Apple, these are all brands that an individual at one point in life started. So if you correctly know how to brand and market and share that information, all of that can make you rich. I don't care if you are selling hay out of the back of a truck or if you are the CEO of Nike. You have to be able to put yourself out there. And so if you can find a way to do that, that's what ultimately will make you rich. This little piece of advice was one of my favorite things that he said. Stop giving a shit about what people think. I think this is one of America's biggest kryptonites out there. We care too much about what people think about us. Just be you. You're unique to you. We don't need you to be like anyone else. You shouldn't care what anybody else thinks of you because you are you. Just be that, and you're going to attract the people that are attracted to that. And if they're not, those people. The other thing he talked about is celebrating the small wins. As human beings, I know me in particular, I'm very hard on myself, as sometimes am my own worst enemy. And I know that I can be doing better. But if you're constantly living like that and you're just constantly like, oh, I suck, that'll eventually get to you and destroy you. You have to celebrate the small wins, no matter how small. If you woke up today and brushed your teeth, that's a win. Celebrate that shit. Why not? Some people might be saying, just brush my teeth. It's no big deal. I do it every day. No. You woke up, you had the ability to do it, you move on with your day. Little things like that, they sound stupid, but if you don't start to celebrate those little things in life, or you're always going to be waiting for that next big thing. And so we talked a lot about just, working hard in the moment, celebrating the wins, not caring about what people think about. We all deep down know this stuff, but when you hear it and when it's given to you in such a straight up manner, it's exhilarating and it kind of re-excites you. So I know for me, I do. Why do I care about what people think about me? Because deep down, I think as humans we do, but we need to stop. Just care about what you need to care about. That's why I do these videos. I like to have fun. I like to show you my personality and who I am. You get what you get with me. And I'm trying to do the best I can with that. One of the other things he talked about was goal setting. He said, whatever your goal is, no matter how big, no matter how small, you're either moving one step closer to it every single day or further away from it. We've talked about this in the past, but goals have to be trackable. You have to be able to have an end date. When I set my fitness goals, I set it specifically for 1 year out because I know a year from now, I can take a look. I can track it. I can take progress photos along the way, lifting a little bit heavier than I did the day before or running just a little bit further than I did the day before. And if you can do that every single day consistently, and then you have your end goal, that is where success happens. And that is where you accomplish shit that matters. Whatever your goal is in life, if it's to purchase a house, awesome. Set a goal today, put an end date on that goal. And then every single day between here and then, you're either moving closer to that goal or further away from it. And that's really important to think about. And if you can put yourself in that mindset every day, it'll change your life. I swear to God. Write it down. I write down every single goal that I have, no matter how big, no matter how small. Sometimes I just have daily goals. I'll write them on a sticky note and I'll slap it on my computer. And if I get to an hour before the end of the day and that goal's not accomplished, I do whatever I can to get it done. Because I know if I didn't, I have taken a step backwards, and I don't want to go backwards. I want to go forwards. And so these were some of the things that he talked about, and they were inspiring. And again, the whole goal of these conferences is to take that knowledge, take everything that I've learned and apply it. Because if you just listen, it's like watching a movie, right? If you sat and watched movies every single day for the rest of your life, would you accomplish much? Probably not. You're just sitting there being entertained. But if you watch something that was impactful to you, and then you put it into practice, and you did it in a way that changed your life for the better. Now that is something that matters. Talks about putting things into action. Don't just sit by and listen, write it down. So that's what I do every time I go to these conferences. I write stuff down and then I implement 2 to 3 things immediately. And then a month later, I go back through and I look at my goals. If I didn't accomplish them, I double down. If I did, I set a new goal. You should constantly be setting new goals. You should have goals in life, no matter how big, no matter how small. Everybody should have something that they're trying to attain, in my opinion. He talked about seeking new information. I like to read, but I felt like I didn't have time for it, right? And that whole excuse is bullshit, by the way. If you don't have time for something, it's because you don't want to do it. I used to say I didn't have time to work out. I didn't have time to read. I had time. I just truly didn't want to do it. But if you truly want to do something, you will find time. You will find a way to get it done. So seek new information. If there's something that you're curious about, if it's mortgages, that's why you're here. You're learning about stuff. This is why I love to read, because I'm constantly learning new things. And if you can seek it out and put it into action, that is when success happens. Look at Brad. I mean, this guy built this system from the ground up, and it's a soon-to-be billion-dollar company. That's impressive. His last piece of advice was something that I just recently started to try to put into practice in my life. And that is surround yourself with successful people. If you find yourself in a room and you're the smartest one in the room, you need new friends. If you're not elevating yourself, then you need to find someone. In life, you should always have someone that you are learning from and someone that you're teaching. There's that constant growth, right? Learning from someone, and then you're taking what you learned and passing it along. So that's why I do these videos. I like to pass along what I've learned. Hopefully you found this information valuable. Be sure to hit me up in the comments if there's anything that you would like to hear more about or want to know more about Brad Lea. He's a cool guy. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this, and you have yourselves a great rest of the day. Cheers.